So I just want to hop on and kind of vent about what happened tonight, or what happens every week when dealing with a high conflict co-parent. So my ex was supposed to have our boys this weekend as a makeup weekend because he missed some of his parenting time. Now our son has had an ear infection since last week, and since our boys were with him last week, he failed to give him medication basically through the entire weekend. So, and instead of communicating that with me, he tried to hide it from me, and he took him back to urgent care, got another prescription. And the reason I found out is because I received an email from the pharmacy letting me know that a prescription had been picked up. And so I put two and two together, and I realized that he never took the medicine from our son's school and just decided to ignore it for the entire weekend and not communicate it with me, which is very standard with this person. This is not the first time that I've had to deal with this. Like, our other son has been brought to the emergency room without my knowledge. And the only reason I found out is because I received an email from the emergency room. So this has happened before, multiple times. So anyway, I had messaged him this morning, and I said, hey, our son needs to continue taking medicine until next Wednesday. Do you have enough at your house to cover the weekend? So he finally responds to me. He says, no, I don't. I gave you guys the full bottle. So I said, okay, will you be home when I get off of work, and I will drop off a fresh bottle for you? Instead of responding like a normal person, he has to deflect and, can't take accountability for anything because, God forbid, he admits to anything, then for him it's like a sign of weakness or something. So, so eventually he says, yes, I'll be home. So I get to his house, and he answers the door, and I have the bottle of medicine in my hand, and he tells me, I'm not giving it to him. I said, what do you mean? I'm not giving him the medicine. I said, but he needs it. He has the ear infection. And anybody that has small kids knows that kids chronically get ear infections. It's just a thing that happens when they're young. And so, yeah, he's telling me he's refusing to give him the medicine. And I said, I literally don't know what to say at this point. As much as I can predict his behavior, because narcissists are very predictable. Once you kind of learn what you're dealing with, it's very easy to predict what they're going to do next. And even though I can expect certain things, it's jaw-dropping, because I think subconsciously you want to think like, they would never treat their kids this way. They would never react this way. And so it's a little bit shocking still. He has never point blank said to my face, I'm not going to give him his medicine. But he did this time. And then on top of that, he said his ear doesn't hurt anyway. I said, okay, well, a 6-year-old doesn't know that if his ear infections are gone or not. And at least that's a good sign. He no longer has ear pain. But still, if a doctor says, give it to him for 10 days, give it to him for 10 days so we can fully get rid of this infection and it doesn't come back again. And I just don't understand how just a simple instruction of giving our child medicine turns into this huge deal. So anyway, he decides he's not going to give him the medicine. And I said, well, I don't feel comfortable leaving the kids here, because what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to show up twice a day to make sure that he gets his medicine? So I ended up taking the kids with me. But I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why people like this always have to start a fight for the most ridiculous things. Your son needs medicine. Just give it to him. Just give it to him. What's the big deal? I don't understand. Like, I get it. You hate me. You want to control everything. But this is medicine. It's your son needs it. It's for his health. I mean, this is just like, one of the things that I have to deal with. It just, I don't know. I mean, is anyone else like going through this? Like, I'd love to hear somebody else's stories. Like, I know I'm not the only one here.